Hi there, we're going to talk about doing research using education databases. So if you don't start at the library, Discover UR, one of the things you can do is start here at libguides.lib.rochester.edu, and this is the Education and Counseling Guide. You can see across the top some helpful other tabs like orientation and tutorials and citing and things like that. Over here on the right-hand side is me. You can email me, Eileen, or you can meet with me, set up a one-on-one. And one of the things we've done here is top databases. This is so when you don't know where to start, this is a great place. I'm a big fan of starting at Discover UR, but Education Full Text is a database that just has journals related to education. In some cases, you might also be interested in PsycInfo if you're thinking about socio-emotional learning or stress or trauma. Any of those things that overlap with psychology, this database has a lot of really good things on psychology and education. So we're going to hop into Education Full Text. And this is a much smaller database than something like, say, Google Scholar, because really everything, you don't need to tell it it's about education. Everything in this is about education. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just start throwing in some terms. And you'll notice that it's going to help us out. Say my topic, I'm interested in math. Maybe I'm going to say science, and it will often offer things. So yeah, math or science. And maybe I'm going to add in STEM in this case. Say I'm interested in high school students. And so one of the things you might say is like, I'll just put in high school. But you'll notice it says, oh, are you interested in high school students or teenagers or secondary schools or adolescents? That's going to be a little larger pool to pull from in case your researcher is talking about secondary school and doesn't mention high school students. And then maybe we're interested in the topic of gender. So I'm just going to try, what if I put in girls? Oh, yep, I want to see if they're talking about girls or women or females. And you might even say like, I don't really want women in there because I'm the age I'm thinking of, they're probably not going to mention women. So we're going to leave it at that. We do our first search, and this is a nice broad search. We're going to get a lot of results, right? So 8,000 results. The first thing I do before I start looking at things is I start coming down here to my filters. I want things that are scholarly peer reviewed. That's going to give you the best research. I don't want things from 1908. I'm going to go all the way up to 2018. Give myself the more recent research because more current research will always be able to point us to older research that's really important. Something that was published in 2022 will have lots of good bibliographic information to look at. And then the other thing I might look at is say, limit it to academic journals. For now, this is really going to carry most of that, the scholarly peer reviewed. So now I start to look to see, is this doing what I'm interested in? And one of the things I noticed, this is like online gaming, this is tobacco use, so there's something going on wrong. It's what's happening is this abstract, it's not just searching the abstract, it's searching the entire text. And so it only takes a couple of hits for some of these to show up. So instead, here's a nice trick. I'm going to limit these to, instead of searching all of the full text, I want it to search just that paragraph, just that abstract. So now each of these has to show up or should show up in the abstract. And there is an algorithm that does some weighting that sometimes is hard to see. But now all of a sudden we're down to 250 articles, and that's a lot closer. Interest, mindset, engagement, longitudinal relationships, and science orientations for adolescents. And we can see adolescents, they're talking about girls. And one of the best pieces of advice I can give you is read the abstract before you download, or in this case, you would click Find at UR. Read the abstract before you download a paper. This way you'll know why you've sent it to yourself. So thinking about profiles of ICT, that's information and communication technology, and their associations with female high school students' intention to study. So all of a sudden we're getting a little bit closer. So of these 250, if you don't have time to look through all 250, one of the things we're going to look at is these subject headings. And these subjects show up here. So you can see one is high school girls. This is teenage girls. By clicking on more, we can sort of see how 44 of the 250 have a tag of academic achievement. And we can kind of go through and say, which ones are we most interested in? And maybe it's gender differences and gender. Maybe we just want to take those two to see for ones that were really focused on gender. And now you can see gender differences here, gender inequality, gender differences. this is a way to sort of quickly find out which ones are talking about what you're interested in. So that's a really brief overview. Remember, you can hit Find at UR to get those articles and read those abstracts.